Hi everybody, Andrew Ford, CEO of Social Star and Campus Life. We've done this marketing podcast to help educate, inspire, and give you a few tips and tricks about what it's like to work in the marketing industry, or if you're a business, what it's like to hire a marketing agency. So today we had one of our best employees, Chloe, who's been with us a couple of years. She's a great employee, wonderful worker, and we did an exit interview with a twist. So it's a bit of a strange thing to do, but we wanted to capture what it was like going through the process of going from university and part-time jobs to working in an agency and growing personally and professionally into a corporate career. It's an exciting journey. You'll hear lots of tips and tricks about how she progressed in her career, what she did, what she learned, and the reflection on her time at Social Star. So I hope you enjoy the show, and we'll see you next time. Welcome, Chloe.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining me on the couch. This is a bit of an interesting podcast we're doing today, which is a exit interview with a twist. Mm-hmm. So exciting. Before we get into that, though, I just wanted to get you to introduce yourself for the people who are watching and listening. Yep. So tell me your name and a little bit about yourself.
So my name's Chloe. I just finished my degree studying a Bachelor of Marketing at Monash University in Caulfield. And essentially I've been working at Social Star now for about 2 years, just over that. Had a great time, it's been amazing, and I've had so many opportunities, which I guess we'll go on to explain soon. But yeah, sort of coming towards the end now. I just scored an internship with L'Oreal, so a full-time internship, which is super exciting, and we'll talk about it very shortly.
Exciting. So I wanted to dig into a bit of the history. So tell me a bit more about what you studied at Monash, and how you got the job at Social Star. How did it all come about for you?
Yeah, I sort of went around in circles at uni actually. I started, because when I finished high school, I honestly didn't really know what exactly I wanted to do.
But you got a pretty good mark, 87.
I did get a pretty good mark, but I was sort of unsure, and I really enjoyed business, that subject, in high school, and that was awesome. But I was sort of thinking to myself, what avenue do I want to go down? So I started off in a Bachelor of Business and Arts, and then from there I realised that I sort of liked the media comms, business marketing side. So I went to media comms and business with a major in marketing. And then from there I was like, I love marketing. So then I ended up moving to a Bachelor of Marketing and absolutely loved it, had a great time with it. And I sort of, I guess, wanted to get some more experience as I got further down into my degree. So I did an internship during lockdown. I deferred for a semester, I did an internship, and that was awesome, sort of dip my toe into the water just to see exactly what it's going to be like actually working in the industry. And basically at the time I was working in retail, and I had a friend that worked at the store across the road, and she was working at Social Star. And basically we were pretty good friends, both studied marketing, really passionate about it. And she sort of told me, oh, well, when there's an opening, I'll talk to my boss and see what we can do. Maybe you can meet with him. And I was like, awesome, because I'd just come out of my other internship. Anyway, time sort of goes by, and then Lily basically comes to me and goes, my boss could probably have a chat with you because we're sort of looking to expand the team a little bit. So I was like, awesome. So I remember I came in to the old office that we were at, went and had a coffee, had a chat. I remember I was extremely nervous, like what's about to happen, because, you know, he's very scary. Andrew Ford is the scariest person ever. And it went really well. And then from there sort of progressed into my role and became assistant team leader, had so many great opportunities, managing clients. But yeah, no, it's been awesome. Sort of from there to now, it's nice to reflect.
Yeah, interesting. Did it take longer to get your degree because of you did all those extra things?
Yeah, it did. However, the one good thing was I ended up getting credit through Monash because this was obviously a placement that I was doing. So I was able to get a little bit of credit, which sort of shaved a bit more time extra that I was doing. But a lot of the units sort of crossed over as electives anyway. So I actually didn't end up finishing that much later than I thought I would.
Okay, well that's good. And did you win some sort of award at Monash? Did I hear some rumour?
Yes, no, I did. I won, throughout the degree, I won a few sort of unit awards just for high performance in that unit. But then I also did win a Dean's Excellence Award as well for 2 of my specific units. So that was pretty good achievement. I've wasn't expecting it, honestly, because obviously there's so many people in the cohort, and I guess being at uni, you meet so many other intelligent people as well. So it's a nice achievement.
Yeah, well done. I
Thank
just want to
you.
say congratulations
No,
for that.
thank you.
So, and you've always been a hardworking, diligent sort of person. So tell me a bit about, like, what's a day in the life for you working at Social Star? What sort of things do you do, just to set the scene for people who may choose to look at working here in the future?
Yeah, well, I would say being organised is probably like the key thing for me working here, because every day is different. You're managing a whole series of clients. I feel like when you're at an agency, it's very fast paced and dynamic, and you sort of got to work with the client, and it varies from case to case and account to account. So sort of day to day for me is very different always. And I was thinking about this the other day, but like basically I would say come in, look at my emails to start, set up my calendar for the day. So sort of look at the accounts that I'm currently working on, sort of what's due, looking at it in that sense. And then from there, it sort of varies, but some of the main tasks I would probably do is sort of managing content for clients. So content marketing that can go essentially on LinkedIn, Facebook, and then working on websites. So building websites, helping create the copy, and then also coordination of a whole other series of things, just account coordination in general. So sort of ensuring all meetings are ready, ensuring I'm doing my notes effectively, so then we can communicate things to other people within all the different accounts, because you're working with sort of a team, I guess, for each of your accounts. There's sort of the main person and there's someone else that you also liaise with. So sort of coordinating all of that as well, especially with our creative leads, that we do a lot of our creative work, video work, sort of ensuring the briefs and everything are up to date. As well as that, I would probably say a bit of podcast management, which is sort of what we're doing right now, but just sort of ensuring all of that is ready for each of the clients. But yeah, basically each day is very different, but super exciting. I guess all of the clients that we have come from such different industries as well, which makes it so different, because the strategies that we have for each of those clients really does vary significantly, because they do completely different things. But yeah.
Now, since you very first started, I remember the first time we met. You've changed and grown a lot. Being a young person, you develop quickly. What would you say is your biggest personal development sort of outtake for the 2 years you've been working here?
I would say definitely my communication and account management skills. I've always been quite an outgoing person in general, but sort of being able to use those skills and leverage them in the workplace is something that I never really had before. I guess I worked in retail and I built relationships with people in that way, but sort of working with clients, managing myself and them, and sort of bringing in my organisation skills into that account and sort of developing a long-term relationship with them, I think is something that I've really found useful since being at Social Star. I think the good thing sort of from when I started is that you pushed me into the deep end, which was a good thing. Obviously you waited until I was ready. You didn't just do it when I had no warning whatsoever. But I think it was good. You sort of pushed me to sort of deal with the clients on my own and, take accountability for my actions and sort of take control of the account, which I think is something that's been super beneficial to my account management skills, to my organisation skills, to my collaboration skills. All of it has been super helpful. So I would say, my communication and account management has definitely developed over the time since I started here, for sure.
And my reflection is that, your level of professionalism increased
definitely
dramatically.
How to conduct myself in a professional setting has grown so much. I'm thinking from when I first started, being nervous to even give a bit of input in a meeting, to now sort of running the meetings and talking and being confident to say what I need to say as well. Super important.
I like to think that the university journey is from high school to work is a 3-year, personal development journey from being a kid to an adult
100%.
or a young adult. And when you first came in, you looked like a uni student, you talked like a uni student, and now you look and talk like a professional worker. Which is testament to your development, but also just being around the professionals we work with. When you're working with doctors and surgeons and accountants and so forth, you pick up these cues from those people.
And you learn so much about all the different industries that we work with. I think it's just awesome. And it's a lot of high level thinking that's involved with some of the people that we work with, because obviously some very interesting jobs that some of them have, and, sort of learning more about that is just also developing my professionalism as well. But yeah.
And so thinking about sort of the culture of the company, I believe environment dictates behaviour. So tell me a bit about or describe the culture, which is a very hard thing to do, but for the people who are listening.
I think we're a very fun-loving crew at Social Star. we don't take everything too seriously, which I think is a good thing, especially as a young person coming into sort of your first like proper marketing job. You get a bit intimidated, like what's corporate world like it looks super intimidating. And I think through uni, you hear through the tutors, they make it seem like it's an extremely daunting process where you literally have to just sit up and just be still and can't even breathe. But like, I feel like the good thing about Social Stars was super relaxed, and I think we're all here to learn. Like everyone's learning, whether it's you and you've had so many years of experience and it's me. I think it's a nice environment to learn in and everyone feels comfortable, I feel, and that's super important. Especially you want to have a supportive home base when you're working with all these external clients as well, so you can sort of rely on other people for a bit of support when you need it. And I think that's super important to our culture. And we also love to have fun. We always have great fun at Christmas parties and, you know, work events. You know, we love to be social. I think we all love getting to know our clients and sort of taking that extra step to, you know, go to their events, do all those sorts of things. I think it's really exciting and we all really enjoy being in each other's company. So I think, yeah, we're a really fun crew, I would say.
And I think having, you know, I mean, you were onboarded by Lily, who was your friend, and then you had some other friends come on board, and so create a bit of a cohort of,
definitely,
you know,
all about
well.
networking. That's something else I've learned since being here. Like networking is super important, especially like thinking about campus life and how that whole model works, and then also Social Star, like super important because it's who you know, and like you get to know and build relationships with people, whether it's through LinkedIn or like in person at a meeting. It's all super important.
Yeah. So what I'd like to talk to you about is what you're most proud of, because you've done a lot. You're a high achiever, as we know. So what do you think is your highlights of having worked here over the years? Is it Dr. Luke's podcast, or is it?
Quite a few, actually. Quite a few. Dr. Luke's podcasts definitely up there. So I would probably say something like a long-term thing that honestly I'm quite proud of is sort of having those long-term relationships with a lot of the clients that I've had. Like there's a few I've had from the beginning and they're still a client now, and it's just nice to sort of progress with them and sort of stay with them throughout the whole journey, which I think is something overall that I'm really proud of. A specific project in particular is the Social Star website. I love design and all those sorts of things as well, and I feel like here at Social Star I've been able to really grow on those skills. In marketing, I feel like a lot of people think, oh, like that's the creative people's job. But I've been given the opportunity to do a bit of everything and sort of hone in on my design skills, which is something I love so much. So doing that Social Star website was really awesome and was so much fun to do.
We got lots of good feedback about it as well.
Yeah, and working with the team on it as well and learning more about, you know, coding and the back end and understanding all of that was just awesome, and I really enjoyed it and something I'm proud of. Another thing is probably being assistant team leader. It's just been awesome as well. Working with the team on like a different level is something that I didn't even think I was going to be able to be given the opportunity to do, which has been awesome. So just sort of learning how to reflect on myself as a leader, and then also reflecting with the team and helping others sort of use their strengths to get better, and we can just become a cohesive team.
Well done. So, you know, you're moving on, which is actually part of our process to help people, you know, develop enough so that they, when they graduate or a while after that, they have an opportunity to, you know, flourish in other areas. So tell me about the role and how it came about.
So basically I had just actually gone away on a holiday, which was very grateful to Andrew for giving me the time off. And when I came back, I sort of knew, because I'd been at Social Star for a while, sort of like looking at options, but not really, to be honest. This one sort of just came up out of nowhere. I sort of told myself I would wait till the following year to sort of start looking at different opportunities, because I think the main thing that sort of was making me think about that is I've been working in agency now and I understand how that works and I've really enjoyed it. But I think I want to just see what it's like from an in-house marketing perspective. That's probably like the main thing that pushed me to sort of take the next step, is because I guess as a young student, you don't know what you don't know. So you sort of want to try out new things, and that is something that I guess I really wanted to try out, because at an agency, I'm giving myself to all these different accounts. I'm like, what would it be like if I just gave myself to sort of one brand, and how that would work, and the process, which would be quite different, I think. So that was sort of what pushed me to think about it in the first place. But basically, I wasn't really looking at that time. And then essentially there was a ad up on LinkedIn that came up, and one of my friends had told me about it. And I was just like, oh, I'll have a look at it, because it was just like a short-term internship. And so I was like, okay, well, like I'll apply. And that's the only thing I applied for at all. Anyway, so I looked at it, I applied, and it was sort of a long application process. I think there was about 4 stages, I think, which were very different. There was sort of a bit of testing involved, and then also just giving your resume an application and interviews and things like that. And it was quite a long process. I think that happened in maybe September, or late August, September. And then I didn't find out till I was successful until last month, I think. Yeah, last month. So it was a very long process, but it was interesting. And I think what I learned here at Social Star is how to conduct myself professionally. And I think it was super beneficial when it came down to it, when I was doing my interviews and things like that. I sort of knew how to hold myself, and that was definitely due to what I've done here. But yeah.
And there was a lot of applicants, and you managed to beat them all, which was good.
I know. I remember looking each day on LinkedIn, just like once that I've applied, and the numbers just kept going up of who had applied. It was like, it started off as like 200, then I went to like 600, and then I went to over 800, and I was like, oh my God. So yeah, no, it's definitely a very big achievement, and it's just crazy that so many people applied and I happened to be successful. But yeah, no, crazy.
Yeah. No, it's good. You know, I mean, you've done the work, you get the rewards, right?
Yeah.
So in terms of advice for people who may be following in your footsteps, what would you say is, the things that they should prepare for? How would they get a role here? What would be the things that if you think about your younger self in your first interview, how would you prepare them?
Yeah, I would probably say one of the first things is to take initiative and be proactive. I think you got to show that you want something, and, rocking up that little bit earlier to sort of get to know the people in the office or doing something like that, I think goes a long way. So I think taking that initiative is super important. But the most important above all is just to be confident in yourself and your abilities. As a young professional, I think it's really hard to sort of believe in yourself and think that, I do have the capability to carry out this role. And I think all of us have that doubt, and I definitely did. I still do to this day, because obviously I'm still quite young in my career and everything. But I think believing in yourself and having that confidence is going to shine through, because you might not know everything. That's normal. That's literally life. You're learning throughout every step in your career. So I think if you're just confident in your abilities, the future employer will see that, and they'll be like, okay, well, it looks like she's willing to learn, and she's excited to take that next step, and they'll take you on. You don't need to know everything. You don't need to know how to do SEO, how to do Google. You don't need to know absolutely everything. You're going to learn that on the job. That's what you're there for. But showing that you're willing to learn and you're confident in your ability, I think is super important. We forget that as young people, for sure.
So I just want to ask about sort of some of the technical skills, because you mentioned websites before. What are the sort of main skills you think you've learned in the last few years?
I would say one of the main ones is definitely a website and SEO. That's something I've learned about tremendously since starting here. Another thing is sort of understanding meta ads, for sure. Definitely looking at how that works and how we can sort of adjust the audience and everything for our client. Content marketing, I think, has been extremely important in all the accounts that I've worked on. So sort of understanding how we alter the message and positioning on different platforms. Events, sort of understanding how to coordinate all of that has also been something that we've learned quite a bit, whether it's online events and webinars or in person. So I would say those key skills were probably the main ones that I've really developed in, for sure. Definitely those. But websites, number one. I had no idea how to do any of that stuff before I started, and now I love it and enjoy it.
Yeah, a lot of uni students they might do one during their whole university career, and you probably worked on 20 or 30.
Heaps. And that's the thing. Even I remember in uni I did one sort of website and it was in WordPress, but I've learnt so much more now, how to understand how to inject code and all that sort of stuff, which I had no idea about before. So yeah.
So you get a lot of soft skills, you got some practical hard skills.
Definitely both, for sure.
So in terms of the moments that you sort of stand out in your memory the last few years, is there anything you sort of cherish and take forward, and which could be hanging out with your friends, it could be...
I would probably say, from the work perspective, is just being with the team. I think I've really enjoyed, I remember we had our offsite, which was probably a year ago. That was so much fun. I had such a good time, and it's good having a close relationship with the team, because you really actually do feel like you can rely on them and have support when you need it. Things get stressful, as it does. You're working with clients, there's lots of stuff to always do, it's never like it's never a slow paced day. So like having the team that you can sort of rely on when you need a bit of help, and we're all supportive, we're all welcome to helping each other and sort of providing the best assistance. So I think sort of having that close, tight-knit relationship with the team, and you can laugh, have a joke, always have lunchtime together, you know, all that stuff has just been super important and definitely a highlight for me, for sure, with the team.
Well, you've been a wonderful employee, and you know, I hope one day our paths cross again.
Our paths will definitely cross. I'll be in and out of here every now and again.
I'll be
for
calling
sure.
for, you know, you got any work there?
Yeah, no, I'll be snooping in this new office for sure, definitely.
So, any other final sort of comments you'd like to make before we finish up and bid you farewell?
Yeah, no, I've just had a great time here at Social Star. It's just crazy to see, like, even just chatting about it just then, how much I've developed from when I started, from like a scared little tiny young adult to now, I would say. No, it's just been so awesome. I've had so many great opportunities, so many fun events, so many great clients. Like I've absolutely loved all the clients that I've worked with. It makes sort of the process so much more fun, I guess. You're working with great people and, you know, these people are so passionate about what they're doing, and it's so nice to like help them out and, you know, do what they need to also succeed in their passions and their industries. So it's just been a super rewarding time here and I've really enjoyed it. And I will definitely be annoying everybody around very shortly.
We hope so.
So just stay tuned for that.
Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. I've had a great time.